Hey guys, if you love QF's content on our free Sundays and Thursday sessions, then please visit our Patreon page in the description and sub to the Black Kluge tier or higher for full access to not only our bonus weekly Tuesday night shows and the alternate Sunday shows you've been missing, but also to the exclusive episodes not available to the lower tiers. It's roughly the price of one coffee a month, and nobody at Starbucks will make you laugh like we do for that kind of scratch. In addition, when you sub to the Black Kluge tier, you'll get 2 weeks advance access to each Thursday session on Patreon before it makes it to YouTube.
This Travolta story is like the most wonderful, loving story ever. To say to someone, you've done it already, that's a pretty profound thought.
And everything's taken care of. So
nice. That's thoughtful. So you
thought this was something you should do?
Yeah, because I didn't want my son to have to go through it, and I didn't want Stephanie to go through it.
Can I say something? That is the most loving thing you could do. And says, we got to work on your act. He kicks everyone out of the room and says, there are certain things you could be doing. He goes, your jokes are good, but I want to talk to you about owning the stage, your presentation. That is such a loving thing. What a hustle. It really is. And the other thing that I say, it's a romance between you two guys, because the fact that you had an agent before Matt, and then you said to Matt, hey, Matt, I got an agent. Why don't you go talk to him? I want to share him with you. I got to tell you, you might not think that's a big deal. I think that's a big deal. I would be like, fuck Matt Damon. I do not want to. He's pretty good. I don't want to share my agent with him. I want my agent focused on me. I need some separation from this guy. That is the most loving thing you could do for another human being, to say, hey.
Really is.
And when I think about your early life, I thought that you would be the guy who would be filled with anger and resentment because you lost your mother at 14. I always say this, how are you so kind and loving and not bitter about that experience? I'm a father of 3 daughters. And when my babies were born, I love these, you look at them and I get the chills thinking about how exciting it is, and they're learning and they're growing, and then they start to walk, and you're so in love with your child.
What I'm saying is the fact that you were too busy for the kids and other things was not.
I wasn't too busy for the kids. I spent lots of time with my kids, but when I needed to.
I mean, that's when you wanted to.
Right.
And what happened?
Well, our relationship as a couple fizzled.
Where did that come from?
Yeah.
It happened from, it's just like the same, you've gone out with guys that, you're the boyfriend before Mr. X, where things for some reason go sour.
Yeah, it's because you're not there.
I know. Emily called me. She goes, Dad, I talked to the New York Post, and I don't know what happened to this article.
Right.
And I said, I go, it's all right. I read it. She goes, the headline was that my daughter's afraid to date. Meanwhile, she was just in a relationship. I don't know what. I said, what's that about? She goes, I don't even know.
So, how did they get that?
I don't know. But my daughter is fantastic. My 3 daughters are fucking amazing. And I'm very blessed. I have such a great relationship with them. And I really do. And
Welcome, guys, to QF, a podcast about Howard Stern. I'm your host, Phil Moore, a.k.a. Jim Fix. With me for this one is Mr. Len Young. How are you, sir?
I'm good. It's good to be back again.
Yeah, this is one we again, every episode we do inspires us to do another episode based on something we might have discussed or something just out of left field. And for this one, it's going to be, I'd say, a 2-parter, most likely because of the amount of audio and video that we have to use. It was the whole Artie, Amy Fisher, David Creep, and Joey Buttafuoco, and what's his name, Lou Bellera.
Lou Bellera.
Amy's new husband, whatever. And this is around the time when Joey was out of jail for he had gotten done in for it was a felony for owning shotgun shells or something like that, and he wasn't supposed to have, I guess, weaponry based on his existing warrants, on his existing condition of parole or whatever. So, but David Creef was an agent for what's her name, Amy and Joey, and all they were doing was making the rounds, trying to stir up interest, who would give them a reality show, like who would give them money to be this, even though Joey's moved on and Amy's moved on, but this Lou Bellera is a complete dirtbag as well. I believe he was an ex-cop, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right. Yeah. Sorry. So it's probably worth just going over the backstory, because when I started listening to this story never made it over to, across the Atlantic. So I had no clue who this guy was.
No.
Now, my understanding of it, the quick recap is, this is just a regular dude who lived out in Long Island or whatever, Joey Buttafuoco, married to Mary Jo.
Yep.
Took up an affair with a much younger woman called Amy Fisher, who was a bit of a psycho. She then, in a fit of, this love triangle ensues, and she, in a fit of jealous rage, calls to the house and shoots Mary Jo in the face.
Yeah.
And then it became a tabloid, nationwide story, I guess.
Right. She became the Long Island Lolita, they used to call her, and she was she was a striking kid. There's no question. She was definitely a looker when she got older, but it's all Long Island. I love Gary goes, I hate it because they gave Long Island a bad name. I'm thinking Long Island gives Long Island a bad name, Gary. Come on. But beyond that, I was 15 when it happened. And so at the time, there was a couple TV movies. Drew Barrymore was in one, I remember. I never saw any of them. But we had the paperback books, like these editions of, what happened and court transcripts and all this shit at the library. And I remember we couldn't keep it in. It was anything true crime related, even something as, let's call it marginal as this, was a hot item back in the day. So people ate that shit up like it was nothing. And I think also because of the whole nature of this really young girl doing this terrible thing to a family, and this, ultimately it's, you got to blame Joey as well for getting involved with a fucking nut job.
Sure. And I think true crime is still just as popular. I mean, just obviously in a different medium. Podcasts are hugely popular. But so what was this guy? Joey was a car salesman or something, was he? Or he just had
for the life of me, I can't remember. All I do know is that he looks like he could be related to Artie, and there's just such a he's just like the thread of DNA, the gene pool in Italy. It's not it's not too there's not a lot of there's not a lot of diversity, let's say, when you get to certain parts of Italy. At any rate, he called in, so they're trying to stir stuff up. This is from 2007. I think it's May 9th. And this was I remember being at the time, this was a kind of a big thing because people were still pissed off at, the whole situation. Like, why are you having Joey on, even though back in the day they used to have Dominic Barbara on, who was representing Joey at the time.
Oh, my.
So already, it gets seedier and seedier, And then, the idea that she was in the news. There's this article that I pulled up that I'm going to read from. It was based on an interview that Chauncey did with Amy. And it was a Fox News website where I got the information, but it was based on that. Amy Fisher, I feel no sympathy for Mary Jo Buttafuoco. And this is from February 11th, 2008. Long Island Lolita, Amy Fisher says she feels no sympathy for Mary Jo Buttafuoco, the woman she shot as a teenager when she was sleeping with her husband, even though she still has the bullet in her brain. So apparently it was inoperable. They had to leave it in there and just monitor her, I suppose, which is brutal. Mary Jo is a non-entity. People are angry at me because I'm a millionaire, but guess what? So is Mary Jo. She made more millions off of what I did than what I made. Fisher says in an interview with Chauncey Hayden in this week's Steppin' Out magazine. I feel no sympathy for Mary Jo, the multimillionaire. The fact that she has a bullet in her head means nothing. I still have silicone in my boobs, and you don't hear me complaining. She can't feel her bullet, and I can't feel my silicone. Silicone. The Fisher's remarks come just 1 month after the soon-to-be remarried Mary Jo blasted her on a web radio show for releasing a hardcore porn video. She's no Jenna Jameson. She's just a porn star. She just tried to kill someone, and now she's making money off it, said Mary Jo, who's writing a tell-all about her ordeal. In response, Fisher tells Hayden she's trying to shop and peddle her wedding for money, and she's trying to sell a book. Okay. Fisher now admits she recently lied about Joey being her boyfriend again just to get a reality show and to piss Mary Jo off. I know how to use the TV shows. They want ratings. It's all a business, and they made millions off me. But Fisher claims she and Joey did have sex not too long ago. This is brutal. But having sex with Joey wasn't that great 17 years later. I was like, ew, it wasn't good at all, she tells Hayden. When he was the older man 17 years ago, he was just 33 years old, but now he's 50. He didn't take care of himself at all. He's got man boobs. So I quickly got sick of having sex with him. Our recent fling only lasted a week. In January, Fisher joined her husband in trying to market a sex tape. Fisher said her husband, Lou Bellera, that's more stately, sold the sex tape to Red Light District Video of Los Angeles in August when he and Fisher were divorcing. They have since reconciled, and Fisher said she took a 6-figure payout rather than fight to have the video pulled from the internet.
6-figure payout.
6 figures for this Bim. Fisher, 33, has written 2 books and worked as a columnist for the Long Island Press. She has a 6-year-old son and a 3-year-old daughter. God love you. So
I think we need to apologize for any Italian Americans listening to this, because between these guys and AA, we're not doing the community much, representing the community well. We'll have to.
We'll have so I don't know. We'll have I don't know how many Italians. We'll do the Coppola interview with Stern. Years around the same time. That might help things. So anyway, we're going to play this segment of when Artie mixes it up with Joey's agent.
Yeah, I did for all these years, and I decided, for me to be able to, here we go, here's a little Dr. Phil for you, but for me to go on and get on with my life and be able to, recover from everything physically, emotionally, financially, I need to put that down. I need to put the anger down, because it does. No matter how strong you are, no matter who you are, the shit eats you up, man. It eats you up from the inside out. And I'm like, fuck this, man. Why? Mary Jo didn't even care at one point that, I don't care. She says she doesn't remember shooting me. I care.
So what do you? So what happened? You started calling.
So I have to let it go to be able to make up with my life and go on with my life. So I have a good relationship with Amy.
What do you mean? How often do you speak?
I spoke to her twice this week.
And, wow. And you spoke to her on the phone. Did she talk to you about the fact that her husband and her were breaking up?
Yeah, I know all about that. And, I didn't file for divorce. My wife did. And I understand that her husband filed also.
But did Amy...
you two were talking?
Maybe. Did Amy say to you that she still has feelings for you?
Something, we talked a couple of times, and I'll be in New York next week, and I'm going to definitely go to dinner and just... I owe her an apology from the way I acted the last time that I saw her, and I'm not defending myself to the point, I was sick or any reasons why.
Wait a second. You're attracted to her still, aren't you? You want her.
You know what, Howard?
Honestly.
Listen, it's just me.
Okay, I'm going to have to stop it there for a moment, because we're going to let a lot of this play through, guys. I remember at the time, now this particular bit didn't really bother me so much, except for the fact that it was clear that Joey was just trying to shop shit around. And it's really, in the Stern show, this is 2007, they're really, scraping the bottom of the barrel when it comes to guests. They would have Spade on as often as possible. They'd have, certain other people, Jay Thomas, who I love, but he was on the show. It wasn't a big reach to get him for a guest anytime, even though he was super entertaining. And it was like the old days where you'd have certain guests on too many times, and you realize, when you see the rotation of guests, people were getting fed up when you'd see Joan Rivers and David Spade multiple times in a year.
Pat Monahan. He was on all the time. I'm trained. They were almost like the house band.
They were the house band, absolutely. It's just seedy. It gets seedier and seedier, and you start to think to yourself, okay, so is this the level of the brand? Is this where we are now with the Howard Stern show? Now, not that they were 2020, but this wasn't. Not that this was meant to be a classy show, but it just sort of felt desperate.
Yeah, Howard isn't Charlie Rose, certainly not here. But I mean, this is Howard. This is true Howard here. He doesn't really have any moral backbone at all, and he knows what he's saying. There was interesting. He goes, "Oh, you still like her, don't you?" He really should be repulsed by this, and he knows that this guy is just leading him down the garden path to drum up publicity. But Howard doesn't care, because he just thinks, "Well, this might go. My audience might like this." There's no. Whereas at least I think. I can't remember this clip, but I know Artie has he's more disgusted by what's happening here.
Yes.
And he's indirectly kind of putting it at Howard, but without obviously saying it to him.
Well,
this is the real Howard here.
Yes, and he's in his element. Like, and at least he should. I suppose he should wade in it because he's more natural in this type of setting than in any other, and in this situation. But at the same time, 5 years later, you're doing the summit meeting, and all of a sudden, we need to get A-list guests. Why? Now you do? You didn't 6-7 years ago? Now it's
funny,
imperative?
because it's funny because I was listening to the Rachel Hunter episode you did with Jay, and Lou Bellera gets a mention actually because you do, and it's what made me think about it. But yeah, like back then, that's why Howard I think lost his shit that time because he realized I've no power here. I can't get. And Jay made the point. He said, if she's such a loser and such a deadbeat celebrity, why are you so upset that she's not coming in?
Exactly.
He painted himself into a corner, and he had no. Look, I think that's the case. Definitely, I remember back in those days, they really never got that. Didn't I remember they had people in like the stand-in drummer from. And there was a great interview, Artemis Pyle. Yeah. From Lynyrd Skynyrd. People like that they'd never dream of having on now. You'd have to be someone, an A-lister now to get in there, I think.
And the first month they had, or second month, they had Gianni Russo, Carlo from The Godfather, and that was one of the funniest interviews of all time.
I don't remember that.
Oh, I'll have to play that one. That's a great one because he talks about who killed like he was kidnapped by Pablo Escobar, and he was saved because he recognized him. He was in The Godfather. He was trading lines with him. Like meanwhile Pablo Escobar didn't speak English, and I don't peg Gianni Russo as a polyglot. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
So, but either way, he's entertaining, even if he is a bullshit artist. But that was and that would have been fine, but the problem was something like this gets a little seedier. You know what I mean? Like it just gets really dark and depressing when you think about it, and ultimately, you're by putting them on, you're giving them legitimacy, as opposed to you're not reporting on the news like this is a new news story. You're reporting on the salaciousness of the past.
It's real dirty, low rent kind of tabloid hack stuff here. What it really reminds me of, I don't know whether anyone is aware, but it's kind of topical at the moment because there's a court case happening in the UK. There's a guy called Jeremy Kyle who had this show where it's a bit like a Jenny Jones, but what he would have on, he'd have lie detector tests. Who's the guy? Maury Povich, this type of thing. But it was real aggressive. And a few years ago, he had a guy on who did a lie detector test to see was he cheating on his wife, and he failed it. And a week later, he hung himself. So what they did was they had so they've had a whole inquest, and they've had Jeremy Kyle in on, and it kind of reminds me of this, where you're really just kind of sifting through the dirty laundry of people's lives. It's very dark, and it's really just there because Howard doesn't have the creativity to create any other kind of entertainment or ability to draw any guests in.
Yeah, well, we're going to, like this year, before the end of the year, we're going to finally put to bed the Dana Plato stuff, because I've been wanting to do that for a long time, but I need someone on there who's really going to get dirty with me and understand that it's going to be a dark, really kind of sad, depressing episode, but it's necessary to be covered because I still don't believe Howard is responsible for her death. But do I think that he should feel kind of shitty for being the last place before she killed herself, and the way they treated her and the way after she died, the way they wrote it off like it was, she had a great time and all this bullshit. Yeah, I think he should feel guilty, but we know he doesn't feel anything. So
yeah, it's a tough one to prosecute that case against Howard, because we don't really know whether it was an accidental or a deliberate overdose. It could have been accidental. There's no evidence of her leaving a note to say it's because of him. There's no direct evidence to suggest it was it's because of Howard. But man, I mean, it's he didn't help her life at all with the way they treated her. Anyway, that's a separate discussion.
Yep.
Me and you on the phone now, right?
Right.
Go ahead.
You know what? I'll be in town next week, and I'm gonna. Hopefully, we'll go to dinner and.
I mean, you guys had good sex. You had a good time together, so it's not like you're totally repulsed by. I mean, aside from the fact that she pulled the shooting incident.
Yeah, no, I'm not totally repulsed by her or anything that she did.
That's just that one caveat.
Small little detail.
Yeah. Aside from the fact that there's a hole where there's a bullet lodged in your ex-wife's brain that won't come out. I went to Long Island and I got this bullet in my head.
Yeah.
Look, there's a T-shirt waiting for you on Teepublic. Joey Buttafuoco's shit.
Did you read today in the paper? She just got big giant tit implants.
Yes. Yeah. Go ahead.
Well,
David,
all I wanted to say is these two have an opportunity where they can rekindle their relationship after 15 years.
Wow, that would be the biggest story ever.
It was a Romeo and Juliet type of love affair with the gunshot, that everybody heard. But Amy's shooting Mary Jo, going to jail, Joey going to jail.
Can you imagine the ending of the story is Joey and Amy get back together?
Yeah, they got to do the movies over again.
That agent sounds perfect. He sounds like this perfect, heartless, coldest fish on the planet.
Amazing. And look at Joey's face. He's just listening to this go, Jesus, this guy's really laying it on thick.
Yeah.
But Joey's someone with zero scruples, so he will just roll right along with this.
Oh, yeah.
But, I mean, to even think of calling them Romeo and Juliet with a straight face.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, Joey, is there a temptation on your part? Is there a temptation on your part to get together with Amy Fisher just so that you get back in the news and there's a whole big...
So which family is the Montague?
Big opportunity here.
Really, it has nothing to do with in the news. I could go outside, piss along the curb, and it's going to make news. I mean,
she does often, by the way.
Which I try not to do because in L.A., I think you get like a year for that, so I don't want to do that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Amy when I get back. Nobody's.
You think you'll fuck her? Honestly, you want to, don't you?
Nobody's the same. Everybody changes as time goes by, and she's not the same person she was, 10 years ago, 5 years ago. Nor is any of us.
But they describe in the newspaper that her body is exceptional. She has a Playboy playmate. In fact, they're saying she might even become a Playboy playmate. That's right. Are you for sure?
Yeah, we are.
Oh my God.
Will you be posing with her, David?
Yeah, I will actually be posing nude.
Because you say we are doing Playboy.
Well,
Are you managing her as well?
Yes.
Amy's gonna
see already there. Like this is one of those things where, like, it sounds to me. Why would Howard have them in unless he knew full well what this was about?
He had to have, because he's not reacting at all. He's not surprised by any of this. What's happening? This is a very strange situation here. You have a guy coming in out of the blue, coming on the air, and providing a kind of a. I mean, he's kind of answering the questions ahead of Joey. He's laughing at everything Joey says. He says he's a producer, but now he says he's also a manager. Who is this guy? The way he's so aggressively, I suppose, kind of advertising her qualities that you can't help but be suspicious of his motives. It doesn't seem, of course, none of this seems like he's not a real television. No credible television producer does trash like this and acts like this.
God, no. And when Artie goes after him and they start comparing, he starts listing off his credits. It's kind of funny. This isn't the next Jerry Bruckheimer. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
Gonna be in Playboy,
and I'll be doing it with her.
David, has this been orchestrated by you to get more interest in these two?
You couldn't orchestrate this story. Either these two, timing is right. They're free finally. There's some opportunities. I think things have to be life-changing.
Have you told Joey he better close the deal with Amy in order to make this thing happen?
I don't have to. I mean, these two have chemistry together. What you're going to see over the next couple of weeks is kind of like a Truman Show, and we're going to chronicle some of it.
Oh, it's a TV show.
And I think it'll be fun.
Wow.
It's a TV show.
Wow.
Listen to Robin. He's entering on everybody. Stop it. Wherever it goes, it goes. It's going to be, it's going to be all right.
Please.
She's a professional yenta, She gets paid to be a
cute yenta.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Joey Boots wants to say hi to Joey Buttafuoco. Go ahead.
Who does?
Joey Boots.
Joey Boots from Massapequa, Long Island, your hometown, Joey Buttafuoco. Hey, Joey, I want to tell you right now, you're the most disgusting, vile human being. I wish death on you. I hope you fucking die. You know what? To fucking do this, to try to stay famous, which is all, that's your agenda. Your agenda.
Gorilla.
Your agenda is to stay famous, man. So you're going to take the mother, you're going to go out with the girl. You're going to go out here.
Who is this?
No. You're trying to hook up.
Okay, now I listen. Joey Boots he's not the greatest orator in the world. God rest his soul.
Yeah.
But he speaks for a hell of a lot of people out there. Like they're just fans getting creeped the fuck out, and then they're all asking themselves something that's going to be said. I talked about on the wrap-up show, the ensuing wrap-up show. At least for a little segment we're going to play. What kind of show has these two assholes on that has that really respects its audience whatsoever?
Well, I guess it's the type of show that doesn't care about the content as long as there's a reaction, and that's exactly what Howard's thinking. He's thinking, look, this is great. Look at this guy calling in. He's raging. This is working. You know, that's all he cares about, really. But I think poor Joey there, he sounds like he's had maybe a few too many Irish coffees that morning. I think he struggled a bit with dependency on booze and other things. So,
Sambuca flapjacks.
Yeah, granolas. Yeah, but he's unfortunately he's not coherent, but you can get the gist of what he's saying, and he's right. But I mean, what's interesting here in that last clip was you can see in Joey, right, the way he laughs there, the way he laughs it off. He's almost like a kind of he's like a villain that you'd see in an 80s, like an episode of Highway to Heaven or something in the 80s. Like but he's also, did you see the way he reacted to Robin? Like he's angry. He's an angry guy. I'd say he's very unpredictable. I'd say he'd be the type of person you'd be uncomfortable around because he's ruthless, you know? He just, and desperate too.
Desperate and extremely full of like narcissistic, full of himself, everything, and desperate for fame, and Joey Boots is speaking for, like I said, for a lot of people, and ultimately, what already takes up for the kids, it is going to be like you've got two kids, whether they're grown or not, and something like this happens, you have to be a little bit more mature than Joey's being.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're trying to hook this asshole. Just answer.
Joey Boots, for Christ's sake.
You're trying to hook up with the woman that shot the mother of your children.
What about that, Joey? He's worked up, but what about that, Joey? How can you go out?
Who was that guy?
Joey Boots, for Christ's sake. He's
Who the fuck is he?
Joey Boots, you don't know?
No, I don't know who
He's in the Whack Pack.
Oh, it's that guy.
Listen.
Did he ever get through the 6th grade?
Joey has a good point. He's saying,
he is.
how can you start having sex again with the woman who shot
the agent in the background? He really is like the shithead fucking Satan on your shoulder, you know, like he's the angel and the Satan, like in Animal House, like fuck her brains out, you know, no, don't do it, you know. But he's
the mouthy little nerd who stands behind the bully.
Yeah,
you know,
100%.
Mother of your children.
You know what? I'm going to go have dinner.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe Joey Boots has sex on the table.
Maybe some clams.
First time out of the game.
I mean, your son is going to freak out, and so is your daughter, that you're having sex with Amy Fisher.
Well, you know what, man?
We thought some pasta, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea, man.
No, seriously, Joey. Come on. You got to think this through. This is a major thing.
You think?
Of course it is.
Joey.
Well, you know something?
He is right.
I'm heading back to New York in a little bit. Except my life's going in a different direction, whatever it is.
You know, you're going to see these guys on the cover of People magazine. We're going to do Letterman. We're going to do
Letterman.
How do the children feel about this?
You know, so honestly, if Mary Jo and Amy can sit down and not even hash it out, but talk out what they needed to talk out, and Mary Jo can forgive her, you know what?
What's your tactic?
What happened to
Hello, Joey? He's gone. David, you there?
Else, you know, everybody else is making up and going on with their lives. You know, I'm entitled to do the same thing.
Joey, what's the plan? You want to go to bed with her?
I lost everybody.
Yeah, you there? Oh, our phones went dead.
Yeah.
Completely dead. You should see what's
Hey,
going
man.
on. Hey, Joey, you there?
I remember Gary saying, you know what, the phone system we had at K-Rod was our ancient, but maybe it was because it was so old, it never broke down. It was like some old warhorse. But the problems they had with the phones at Sirius were they were so inconsistent on the phone there. And I remember thinking to myself, well, you know, this is what happens when you half-ass everything and you go cheap on every single bit of technology you have because the head honcho wants to hold on to every fucking marble there is.
I'll never forget that. I'll never forget listening to the show and the amount of meltdowns Howard would have over the phones. And it wasn't like it went on for a week or two. It went on for months, and I'd say even over a year.
Yeah.
And also around the same time, they were talking about, when are we getting streaming on the website? When are we getting streaming on the website? Oh, it's coming soon. It's coming soon. It went on for 18 months. And when they eventually got it working, they were patting themselves on the back like they just landed man on the moon. You know what I mean? It's like a fucking...
Meanwhile,
what a company.
I can remember as early as 98 listening to streaming radio.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know.
And like
what was the issue?
just online. The issue was their own stupidity and just not having having tech people in there that have no business being there. He had to basically outsource, I'm certain, some tech people to do it, and he just didn't know, who do I call? Like, what do I bother? And probably getting a decision, meaning getting a budgetary thing out of Howard, was the big problem. Are you going to pay for it, or is there going to be a budget for this thing? And then who did they have to fucking axe to get that going on?
Well, I know it's better now than it was back then in terms of scalability. I mean, you have all sorts of techniques now of being able to scale dynamically based on the demand, and it's able to price that in, and you get charged by, I think there was probably some thing around Howard not being willing to pay, or Sirius not being willing to pay what was on the table, and arguing over how many people will be listening and what their requirements will be. I don't know.
Right.
But it was ridiculous. And whatever it was, it made them look bad. Just
I think it was simply a matter of Sirius saying, no, fuck you. We need them buying this goddamn hardware, until it got to the point where people were going to threaten to leave if they didn't start getting streaming, because phones were getting to that point. People didn't want to have a Discman and a phone and a Palm Pilot and all these things when they were starting to amalgamate these. Jesus Christ.
Because this is before smartphones. So you have to remember that. This is before the proliferation of smartphones. I have a feeling, Fillmore, if you went out to some landfill in America, if you were looking for all those ET cartridges from the Atari system from 1984, you'd probably find a load of stilettos as well.
Pele's soccer.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hey, anybody here?
Nobody can hear anybody.
Wow, the whole...
Maybe they'll call back.
Let's listen in.
Let's hear if anything else happens. We get some inside information.
We got disconnected.
Hello?
I think he hung up.
Hey, guys, the phone system just died.
Yeah, we know the whole thing just crashed. We're checking on it.
That would have been great if he just said something like, Amy, you can keep blowing me.
What do you guys think? I'll go around the room. All right, first Fred. Is this just a huge publicity stunt orchestrated by David Creef?
Yeah, David Creef is definitely behind the whole thing. And I really feel badly for Mary Jo. I mean, she's taken more shots on this. There's a phone being dialed up. I feel bad for her and for her kids.
Did people need their number? The dial tones coming out?
Yeah, $500 million.
Yeah.
Joey, I think, is like totally lost.
Robin, is this a publicity stunt? What's going on here?
Yes, there's nothing going on. They're just doing this to get back in the press and to create another TV show.
Artie, what do you say?
It has to be. I agree with Robin. I mean, as low as a human being can go. I would hope he at least called Mary Jo and said, listen, this is going to be so embarrassing. The innuendos, the press, the tabloids are going to say we're together again and she shot you. Again, like Joey Boots made such a great point. The mother of his kids was shot by this woman.
Absolutely.
And I hope he at least said to Mary Jo, look, it's going to mean quick money. Do you mind if we do this? And I give you a cut or something.
What do you think the reality is? Do you think that Amy Fisher will start banging Joey again? Her husband was a Joey Buttafuoco lookalike.
I don't.
This guy Lou Bellera, I mean,
I'm gonna
definitely
try
more brawn than brain, I would say.
I'm definitely going to try to get some Lou Bellera AI clips for us, because that voice of his, and not the porn ones, but my God, the voice of his, he really is like a movie character.
He is. He completely is.
Yeah.
Luca Brazzi's younger brother.
Yeah.
I think so. I really don't.
Why wouldn't
Well,
you think Amy Fisher would do
The
that?
more interesting question is, would Joey, if given the opportunity, fuck her?
Yes.
But that's my point. Why would Artie not think that Amy would be open to it?
Because I just think the whole thing is a contrived stunt. I really
I understand that, but why would you say Amy Fisher's the one who won't be?
Yeah, she's crazy.
Into it?
Well, I
She's
don't know.
nuts.
Well, she's older now. We're all, as Joey said, we're not the same people.
Oh,
we
can
were
you
5
grow
years
out
ago.
of nuttiness?
Can you grow up
Yeah.
shooting somebody in the head?
I'm hoping you can.
Artie thinks Amy might be normal.
No, well, listen.
She grew into
I'd
normal.
fuck her. I'll fuck her. I look enough like Joey.
I'll fuck her,
I'll
too.
fuck her right now. But
While we're waiting.
I don't know. I think Mary Jo, having met her a couple of times, I think she's got enough class in her to go. I don't care how
It's
much
still
money.
gotta hurt.
Yeah, I
What
don't
are you
care.
talking about?
Mary Jo is she's a nice person.
But what does Mary Jo got to do with this story?
I'm saying if Joey did go to her and say, look, I'm sorry about what I'm about to do, but it's going to make me quick money. Do you mind this? Will it be that offensive? Even if I hope he would
And
have said.
Joey's not going to sleep with a spreading Amy Fisher?
I would hope he wouldn't for the sake of his
Oh,
kids.
you're crazy.
I really would. Well, listen, I'm telling you what I think.
Jesus Christ. Well, see, and this is just one more reason Artie's endearing, because the other two assholes don't care. Like, they'll have whoever if Satan was on, if Hitler was on, Howard be saying, look, he had some problems growing up too. But but Artie's this, like, he is the fan and he is the heart and soul of the show at that time, and he wasn't in situations like this, thank God, afraid to speak up and say, look, this is wrong.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, he's certainly the moral compass here. Who's on the show? Fred probably to a lesser degree. I think Robin is right in a lot of what she's saying, but she doesn't really have any. She's not feeling anything. She's not feeling any sympathy for Mary Jo. She's not able to connect to anyone on that level.
Zero.
And then Howard is, of course, doing his. I don't know.
Yeah,
I just have these people on. I don't know what's going on here. And he's playing dumb, and
Yeah. Yeah, well, listen, no one plays dumb like Howard plays dumb. Like, he's not playing a character. He is an idiot.
It's not a stretch.
But exactly. But the same playbook,
Joey will fuck anything.
Absolutely.
Well,
he likes that.
He'll be fucking his kids. That's what he'll be fucking, because they're gonna be screwed up, and his kid is a nice kid.
They're gonna be screwed. How if they survived all this, they could survive that.
I don't think anything he can do will hurt them.
I met his son. His son's a real nice kid. He doesn't seem to have any issues. And
Did you talk to him about the whole situation?
No, that was awkward. I wouldn't have done that. But I've actually hung out with Mary Jo a couple of times too, and I think she's the type of person that would have said, I don't care how much money you're getting, I don't want this to happen. So I think he's already pissed her off.
Let me just say something. I'm trying not to blow my stack, because we have a phone system that regularly just has to be rebooted. I don't understand that. I don't get it. So I'm trying to maintain my.
A year and a half later. Almost a year and a half later.
Yeah, this is what year is this? April or
May 9th, 2007.
Fuck, dude.
That's
insane.
That's insane. Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Cool when we're in the middle of an interview, but that will need to be looked into. Joe, are you there?
There's a Photoshop right there. Hold on.
That's great.
Podium 2. I gotta put a 79 somewhere there.
Soft hands.
Soft, yeah. You got city hands.
Who won?
No, listen. He's saying it because that's the only way anyone's interested in all this bullshit.
Oh, stop it.
Yeah, it's to make money. It's
Can I
to
ask
make
you
money.
something, Joey? Joey, man to man.
Sure.
Is she the best
Artie,
pussy?
you crazy?
Is she the best pussy you ever had?
Something. It's no, but it's that's a tough question. It really is.
You've had a lot of experiences.
Yeah, I mean, it's especially like
that Asian is something else.
Wow.
He's such a jerk section. Yeah, Joey's had a lot of trim, Howard. I can't tell you. There's no energy in his voice whatsoever.
Like, of all the questions Howard could ask there, he asks the most boring question.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, it is a boring question when you're talking about in the context of what happened with these people. And then, but this guy Creef he's
something else.
What a performer,
yeah.
Lately, but you know something?
Right. Especially last night.
What happened last night?
Last night? No. We're not going there this morning.
Too early.
I'm sorry, Howard. What was the question?
The question is she the best pussy you ever had?
You know what? Amy's a lot of fun.
Well, how so?
She's just she was always just a very nice until all the shit broke. But then, then we all know why and how that happened.
Would she be open to anal with you?
You know something? I don't know.
You never did that with her?
No.
I'm talking about in the old days when things were good, when you had your affair with her.
No.
Were things ever good? I mean, the old days, things were pretty crazy.
Well, no, there was a time when he had good sex with her.
Yeah, well, for a long time, but,
But Joey, what about the fact that she accused you of being her pimp and that, and that was all heavy stuff?
You know something? Yeah, there was a lot of stuff being thrown out there in the early days, after the whole shooting incident, and orchestrated, of course, by the attorneys.
But wait a second, doesn't that scare you?
Even my attorneys were telling me what to say. I was never involved in anything like this.
Joey should have a pimp based on his.
There was so many things said. Honestly, I mean, everything from the pimp to her life with drugs and her whole way of life, and that I gave her the gun and I was responsible.
So I'm saying, aren't you afraid?
No, because
I love how Joey's affectation is like, listen, I want you to go down to the grocery store. I want you to get some basil, some thyme, some nutmeg. Like you're talking about, you're itemizing a grocery list the way he's going to. She shot, she shot, and when she shot Mary Jo, and she said I was her pimp, and I didn't do anal with her. This is not normal.
No, it's not at all. And he's just it really reveals his state of mind that he really. A bit like Robin, not able to connect on an emotional level to any of this stuff. Like, if you listen to the way Robin talks here, it's really, really insightful, because what she's very good at is understanding the transactional nature of what's happening.
Yes.
She understands the grift here. She can spot that. And she can spot when people are trying to, these kind of grubby, opportunistic little strokes that are happening. But when it comes to someone's feelings and the emotional damage of getting shot in the face, she just doesn't care.
But also, she refused to see it in Brendan Murphy.
Of course,
She couldn't see it in her own life. Same as Howard. Like, he can spot the grift a mile away, but does he know that he's got, he's got sitting next to one of the biggest grifters on the planet, when he's at home? And anyway, you're right though. There is no connection, and it just shows like it's three narcissists talking on the phone, and this quote unquote TV producer David Creef is just like. It's like Coppola talking over is doing the commentary for The Godfather.
It is, yeah. And what's amazing was when Howard said, "Well, to Joey, he said, well, you had great, sex together," and Creef said, "Oh yeah, for a long time they did." Like, why are you commenting on this?
Cheering section.
You know why? Honestly, when we spoke about this, and then it blew up into a rage or what have you, but she actually, told me she never remembered shooting Mary Jo. Like, she doesn't remember a lot.
All right, so you don't think she's crazy?
I don't think she's crazy. I really don't, honestly, and that's coming from my heart. I really don't.
Do you have nicknames for each other when you were on good terms? Did you have lover names?
No.
Never.
No, but honestly, like today, I know. Honestly, to answer your question, I don't believe that she's crazy at all.
Wow.
Have your kids weighed in on this, Joe? Do you think your kids are going to be pissed if you start a relationship with her?
Probably.
Yeah.
You don't care about that?
No, I do care about that, Artie.
Well, how are you going to deal with that?
He won't see his kids.
I'll deal with it when it comes to
Artie's so serious.
This creep you've latched on to, David Creep, whatever his name is trying to promote the fact that you're going to fuck the woman who shot your kid's mother.
You're on Jimmy Kimmel and you're not on the Tonight Show.
Huh? I'm not on the Tonight Show because Jay Leno's a fucking asshole.
Right.
He's not a Letterman.
No matter what you say, Artie, I love you, man.
Funny, Artie.
What?
You're not even funny.
Dude, you're a creep who's trying to latch on to Joey to try to get him, to try to promote, to try to get him.
Right of your life. And Howard Stern, without Howard Stern, you're nobody. Nobody gives a shit about you.
Guess what, dude? I had a career before I was here, and I'll have a career in show business. Well after you're fucking dead from creepiness.
You're not on my list.
We got cut off again.
David, is that
David hung up.
Yeah, David.
I didn't hang up. I'm here.
still
What
here.
did you hang up for Artie?
Now, dude, you're just a weaselly parasite creep who wants to try to get this guy to make money off promoting he might fuck this chick who almost murdered the mother of his kids.
Good for you.
You're a creep.
Well,
You're a creep.
You're the worst.
I am not. I'm no
Well, wait a
creep.
second. How did we get into this?
I don't know. I was talking to Joey.
I'm trying to get to the bottom.
It just
of
makes
whether Joey's
it just
gonna
makes
fuck
me
Amy
sick when
Fisher.
this guy's like, I go like, why would you fuck Joey? This guy's like, ugh, she's hot.
The guy has no concept of love, caring, romance. His biggest claim to fame is to be with Howard Stern for the rest of his life.
What's your claim to fame, douchebag?
Why don't you fucking check
What's
me
wrong
out?
with being with Howard Stern?
Yeah, what's wrong with being with Howard Stern? Is that a problem?
But, if you were funny, it would be better.
Wow. Yeah, that's really interesting because Artie is angry, right? So he is really deeply offended by this, what's happening, what he's listening to, and he's hurt. Like he just thinks he's disgusted. Whereas Howard and Robin are just like, they're really not that offended by it. And if they are, they're doing a good job of kind of masking it. But this guy, Creef here, he's clearly, this isn't his first rodeo arguing with someone. No. He's adept at it. He just doesn't care. But the problem here is it's a miscalculation here to go after Artie like this, because you're automatically now the audience, because I remember this, the audience are automatically going to side with Artie here.
Easily,
and it's just going to lend more credibility to Artie's position here, which is what they're doing is just disgraceful. So
it is.
So this is a miscalculation on this guy's part to start getting into the ad hominem attacks.
Well, Howard, why am I on the show?
Because you're funny.
Right, yeah, okay. Sir, what's your claim to fame?
Day, bro.
All right, let's find out, though. One question I have. Aside from your feelings about David Creef.
Right. I met Joey's kids, and I feel bad for them.
Yeah, that's his problem. He met a kid, and that's the end of it.
Oh, he met kid. He met Joey's
Yeah, I
kid.
met a kid.
Hey, can I tell you something?
A kid who you don't give a fuck about,
You don't
right?
know crap about this story.
What?
You really don't. And you're just talking out of your mouth. It means nothing. You don't know any facts.
What don't I know about it, Dave? What don't I know about it?
You don't know about the probation violation. You don't know why he went to jail. You don't understand why he's out of jail. You don't understand.
What does that have to do with anything? What does that have to do with anything I'm saying?
You talk like as if you know this stuff. You've done no research. You don't know anything.
What don't I know about the Buttafuoco saga that you know?
Howard Stern. That's what you know.
What?
Just be funny, man. That's what you get paid for.
I'm not. No, I get paid to talk on the radio. And right now, there's a lot of people laughing at the fact that I'm pointing out that you're a fucking creep.
Well, I think everyone already listens to you every day and knows that about you. I only show up once in a while.
Because you're a parasite leech.
Yeah, he's got him now.
Yeah. And he's scrambling because ultimately the goal is to sell the Amy Fisher, Joey Buttafuoco reality show, which maybe not be inked, but they're definitely trying to gauge interest or whatever and sell this as some kind of marketable thing at a time when reality TV is taking off. And is there some interest? And the more interest you get, the higher the price goes. You take it to another buyer, whatever. I get how the business works, but exactly. What the problem is, he wasn't counting on someone having a morality issue here on the show.
And it's an indefensible position, and that's why he calls Artie unfunny and brings up the Jay Leno or whatever, because he's trying to deflect from that indefensible position, and then trying to say, "Oh, you don't know the story." When Artie says, "Well, tell us, what is it?"
Yeah.
What's
missing in this saga that you could justify any of this as being normal or like decent or anything? Not to say that we're some kind of, we're some paragons of virtue, guys. But I mean, there's right and there's absolute wrong, and this is really wrong. It was then, and it will always be.
Well, you guys obviously
you have some previous history maybe that we don't know
I
about.
never met David Creep.
I mean, David.
Let me tell you, I'm in the comedy business. I'm working on huge film. Knows about it. Nobody knows who the fuck you are.
Yeah.
Oh, David actually does have a.
You evidently do.
He does do some film work.
What are you doing? What are you working?
What are you working on, David?
Right now, I'm doing a wonderful project with Susan Lucci. It's a Sopranos.
Sounds funny.
Where she's the lead. She is the Sopranos lead. It's called Mafia Wives: The Antoinette Giancana Story. It's a sequel to Mafia Mafia Princess that was on 15 years ago.
That sounds hilarious. Everyone's been waiting for a sequel to that one.
Well, once again,
David, tell him
that's as anticipated as Jaws 2 was.
David, tell him about your previous work.
Yeah.
David.
Hello.
Hello?
Are we gone again?
Where's David? Joey, you there?
I love that.
I was looking forward to what did Robin say? Tell us about your previous.
Yeah. Tell us about the full canon of work that you've.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and also I'm working on a sequel to The Last Temptation of Christ.
Again with the phone.
We've got Johnny Clegg and Savuka doing the fucking soundtrack.
Motherfuckers. Hello?
Cocksucker.
Howard, they're still there. Will says Joey's still there. You didn't put him on hold, did you?
No, I didn't touch a thing.
Didn't touch anything?
Joey, you there?
We had to call Joey back because his phone got disconnected.
Well, then where's David?
Guys, we're going to play a little bit of the wrap-up show segment that followed that day, and just to get the bit that Artie and Will start talking about, then we'll go into the porn tape. So here we go.
Yeah, Artie, you seemed a little bit upset with David today during that chat.
I don't know. Something about him just rubbed me the wrong way, and I lost it a little bit. I just think that it's such a scummy situation. I can't even put it into words. I can't see. Maybe I wasn't articulate enough in explaining why I'm mad, but, if I was able to say it properly, how I'm feeling, I can't see how anybody in the world would disagree with it.
No, we get your point. I love it. My favorite line that you had today is like, listen, I'll be around long after you die of creepiness.
Here's a little bit of Artie getting upset.
You think your kids are going to be pissed if you start a relationship with her?
Probably.
Yeah.
You don't care about that?
No, I do care about that, Artie.
Well, how are you going to deal with that?
He won't see his kids.
I'll deal with it when it comes to
Artie's so serious.
No, this creep you've latched on to, David Creep, whatever his name is trying to promote the fact that you're going to fuck the woman who shot your kid's mother.
You're on Jimmy Kimmel, and you're not on the Tonight Show.
Huh? I'm not on the Tonight Show because Jay Leno's a fucking asshole.
Right.
He's not a Letterman.
No matter what you say, Artie, I love you,
You're not
man.
even funny, Artie.
What?
You're not even funny.
Dude, you're a creep who's trying to latch on to Joey.
I mean, that pretty much summed it up at the end. I think the way a lot of people feel that because the calls came in and they were like, good for Artie, giving it to this guy who seems like he's just being, a parasite.
But Fred made the point that, he's not the only guy. As long as Entertainment Tonight is going to pay $1 million to follow Anna Nicole's baby out of Barbados or wherever the fuck they're hiding this week. If it's not him, there's another guy, there's other 10 guys behind him that are going to put this together.
And the bottom line is David can only make the offer. I mean, right. Joey's the one that has to agree to it,
And so Will's finally talking like a fan too. He's like and being very rational and very respectful to the whole situation. And they're the ones also responsible for having them on the phone or choosing not to.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, he's the real scumbag.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, look, David is what he is. You're right. And those guys are going to exist for as long as there's, people in the world. But, Joey, to me, hasn't thought the whole thing through correctly because the ironic thing is they're saying his kids are old enough to, deal with a situation like this. They're not 8 or 10 anymore. They're 27, 28. People are changing constantly in their life.
You can hurt your kid. You can hurt them at any age.
Of course, and you think about parent issues for the rest of your life. And this is totally speculation on my part. I just seem to think that Joey, because his kids didn't call him back for a while, might be, and because they hated his new wife for a while, might have some resentment towards his children that might be, helping his decision to do this, knowing it might hurt them in a way. And, that's being very immature if that's the case. And Joey's in his late 50s. He should know better.
Yeah, he absolutely should.
Yeah.
So
it is funny because when I listen to that Creef interview, it does remind me of there's a Lou Bellera episode where he comes in to judge something, and Artie's the exact same.
Yeah.
And he's much funnier.
Yeah.
But he takes the exact same. He's clearly disgusted as well.
Yes.
So it's something that didn't really go away. It was echoes of this, but ultimately, Howard should be on the hook as well here.
Oh,
I mean, you know, he's enabling all this, but like we see time and time again, you know, this is Pyongyang, and you can't criticize
dear leader.
Yeah.
If he's got any resentment towards his kids, he's got to be above that and not hurt them for the sake of being resentful. He's the father. He should be above that, and he should care about his kids no matter what they do to him or someone he's dating. It's unconditional love, you know. And like Gary said, no matter how old you are, you know, I still get the blues about parent stuff now. I'm 39. I'm sure that's not going to go away.
I'm 46, and my mother can easily make a phone call and throw me in the fetal position.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. And again, I got into it with David because that comment, I remember why now. He said, God, Artie's so serious, you know. And in a way, I'm thinking, well, shouldn't we be a little serious about this situation? Is it all a joke, you know?
You know what's interesting? Completely coincidentally, having nothing to do with anything else, tomorrow, Mary Jo and her husband are coming to visit me here, because I still keep in touch with her as well. They're just coming by here to see Sirius, so I can't wait to talk to her and see what's going on.
Right. And it was a little personal because I met the kid, and I remember saying, God, I feel great. This guy came through all this, and he's not, like, in the fetal position doing drugs. He's out having a good time. He got through this hell. Mary Jo finally seems all right, and now Joey's dragging him right back into it.
Yeah, and that's the thing a lot of people don't understand completely. Like, I went to school with a girl, and her dad got done in for after multiple allegations of kitty diddling in the church, and like two of the kids in the who'd given depositions who were part of the case had committed suicide by this point. They were adults and they'd committed suicide, and she just dropped out of school, and they all had to move somewhere, like out of town. I think they moved to Ottawa or somewhere, and he had to change his name, or I think he didn't. They changed their names. They divorced, like the mother divorced, and the kid changed her surname. But imagine being saddled with that for the rest of your fucking life. That's your father.
Unbelievable.
Now this isn't as bad because Joey did time for other things, and it's Amy Fisher who did the shooting, but Joey's forever connected to that. And the idea that these kids, like I already said, growing up, oh, your daddy did this, you know, kids can be fucking brutal. And imagine this is on the list, on the menu. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I mean, and that's the thing. I already did ask the right question of Joey, but you said, what do your kids think of this? And just the reaction is so disgusting. He goes, well, you know, I'll worry about that when it happens. So what you're saying is, and you're just going to do it anyway.
Yeah, you're a fucking child.
You know, yeah. What a.
It's like, okay, you made it through.
Yeah, it is brutal.
It's brutal, yeah.
Through hell once, let's see if you could do it again, you know?
The one big issue I had with what David said today that really did piss me off, and if you're listening to David, I want you to hear this. He goes, you know, we do your show all the time, Howard. We never get a nickel, and we get paid to go everywhere else. You know, it's a two-way street. We're getting a great interview, and you're getting the hype that you want in order to go out and sell what you got to sell.
Sure.
So I mean, everybody's getting something out of the deal. It's you know, it's not like you're this.
That's not exactly true, Bowie, because you guys don't reach anybody. First of all, second of all, every one of those, if like they were to go on the Tonight Show, they'd get at least union scale to be on there. They would get money, and they get the publicity. There, it's a free. It's like basically give us your. It's like the Huffington Post not paying their writers.
Yeah, and that's the thing that pisses Gary off.
Yeah,
and why everything that happened.
Not the fact that you're having these two fucking awful human leeches. Yeah, exactly on the show.
Yeah.
Unbelievably generous guy who's throwing me a bone. I hope you don't see it that way.
I'm sure he sees it that way.
Let's take some calls. Matt in Springfield, Illinois. Welcome to the wrap-up show.
Hey, now, how you guys doing?
Good, Matt. How are you?
Not too bad. What's up, Artie?
Hey, man.
Hey, I totally agree with you. I think, I don't know, you don't put kids in the position that they're going to end up putting kids into positions, you know? And then David attacking you, saying you're not funny. Screw that, man. He should have been dumped. Like Howard should have dumped him off the show. He totally should have gotten rid of him.
You know, Artie, you have to tell me, because at one point I was dealing with our phone issue, which was a whole other thing. I didn't get to hear Howard ask David what his next project is. What is it?
Well, what happened was David said to me, without the show, you're nothing. And I got mad at that. I said, you know, I've done a lot of other things before the show. And he's like, but you know, what do you know about it? The funny thing came up. And I said, what do you know about funny? He goes, I've produced a lot of comedies and funny stuff. I'm producing a film right now. And I said, what are you producing right now? And Howard, something interrupted it, and Howard said, no, I want Artie to hear, because he knew I'd probably laugh, and it would make my point. The production he's working on right now is Susan Lucci starring as a female Tony Soprano in a remake to the Mafia Princess movie of 15 years ago.
It's a sequel.
It's a sequel.
What's the? I don't even remember
the
the
long-awaited sequel of the Mafia Princess movie.
Which one was that? Was that a comedy?
I think it was a made-for-TV movie.
But that wasn't a comedy, right?
No.
Yeah, well, I think he's just giving any credential at this point. And I did think he was going to give a comedy, and he said Susan Lucci, and I said, wow, that sounds funny.
That reminded me of when we were trying to find information to Robin's talk show that, it completely disappeared into the fucking dirt. To see if we could get a hold of anybody at Sony who worked on it to get an interview. Like, what was it like? Whatever. What do you remember from it? I'm sure it was quite unmemorable, which is why it disappeared. But the woman who was responsible for producing it never did anything else in the business.
Now, here's the thing. My memory of all this, because when I joined the Facebook page, this was one of my first questions, because I thought, this is, if we can unearth this, it's like,
it's a holy grail.
It really is. It's like Howard Carter in
Finding King Tut.
Now, my understanding from back my memory is that it never actually took place. Is that not the case? It never actually took place.
Robin's talk show?
She got a deal for it, and it was all there to try to push forward a deal with In Demand or something like that. I can't remember. But my understanding is it was never. Was it?
It was filmed. It was shot. And there existed some tape of this that was shopped, and Sony picked up, I think, the Tyra Banks show, and something else instead. There were 4 shows up for, and that was one of them. And I'm like, there has to be some fucking exec out there with a fucking copy of this somewhere, because of how bad it would have been. My guess is it wasn't bad at all. It was just completely fluffy, and they decided, this is bullshit. I mean, if those guys they'll put on, like I said, they'll put on, pets on skateboards if they think it'll make money.
Of course, yeah. Mom caves.
Yeah, exactly. Mom Cave's got a shot. Oh God, that was such a train wreck. But this one, and I asked Richie Wilson, I go, is there anybody who would have a tape of this? I'm dying to see this. And I said, someone found a way to get those Fox pilots on YouTube. Can we not find a way to get this fucking pilot on YouTube somehow? Robin won't care.
I think you're more likely to get the, Steve Irwin death video than the video of Robin. I think it's one of those things. Yeah, I think it's one of those videos that will never be seen.
I don't know. But, and like with this P. Diddy case that's coming, like finally the charges are coming out, and I'm like, are we going to get the full itemized list of what they found? You know what I mean? Obviously they're going to protect the names of the innocent in terms of the victims and stuff, but I'm talking what about the broad strokes of everything? Because racketeering, this P. Diddy thing, by the way, guys, we are going to cover some aspect of this for sure, but it won't be. I don't think it'll be necessarily an ongoing thing. It'll be as it comes out, and we'll get a couple things and just put them together and make it ancillary content. But it's fascinating because is he going to be Epsteined before things come down?
This is very much a fluid developing situation, because we don't even know the full. We haven't even seen this. I think people were expecting a huge 100-page kind of like this huge document, and it's not there, because there was talk of. I'm not going to go into detail here, but there was talk of AK-47s with serial numbers that had been demolished on it. There was talk of minors. None of that is in these documents. And when the prosecutor, I think it was asked, all he said was, "We're not done." So this is going to, so it's coming, right?
It's the tip of the
other
iceberg.
thing is, did you see the video? Like just before we started recording here, I was sent a video. I sent it to you, and you might not have a chance to see it yet, but it's P. Diddy at a party.
Yeah.
And
with that DJ face down into the sofa. Yeah.
He produced the last Blur album that came out last year. He produced Fontaine's. Yeah. This guy's really well known.
Oh.
So, look, this is the first one we've seen now.
He's
But this
face
could
down,
get-
ass
this-
up into a sofa, and
and
I mean,
everyone's
like,
laughing at him.
there's nothing to suggest that anything bad happened to him aside from he took some
No.
drugs that he shouldn't have taken and passed out and looked like a doofus on the sofa.
But it's the middle of the day. It's broad daylight.
Yeah, and he's not going to like if it obviously it's making the rounds that was him. And it won't take long before he decides to be subpoenaed and tell his side of what went on and just give more information. And the amount of documentation they must be sifting through, interviews, affidavits, like video footage, CCTV footage, everything, the whole 9 yards. It's probably taken so long because of how vast that stuff is.
Then you've got all the co-conspirators. Are they going to be named or unnamed? All those deals have to be done. Are they going to flip? Are they going to talk? Are they going? So there's lawyers trying to do deals. There's oh my god, the panic that must be going on behind the scenes is just it's
deals for the small fry to get more evidence against Diddy and bigger people because they don't want the necessarily the housekeepers and stuff. They want him and they want anybody he's protecting.
Yeah.
Or anybody he's trying to blackmail and that kind of shit.
It just goes to show, because we used to always say things like, "Well, if you have money, you can buy justice," but there is a limit,
Yes.
And I think we're seeing that here. Even though this guy Diddy, what a fucking stupid name. But anyway, apparently he has. Apparently he has. He's worth over $1 billion.
Yeah. Collectively, with all, I mean, God knows who his assets are, what assets are frozen and whatnot. And the lawyer tried to get him out for $50 million bail. You got to ask yourself, if you're trying to raise that money to get him out, how badly are you trying to extradite him to Bali like Russell Simmons?
Yeah, God. But like, dude, like this is gonna make. Who was the guy who was done? The guy who had that song Ignition. He was done recently, a few years ago. R&B singer.
God, now you got me going.
Let's look.
R. Kelly. Okay, R. Kelly.
This is gonna make R. Kelly look like double A.
Like double A.
So
it's what is it with these guys with names first initials for names?
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. It's always bad. So look, we're just gonna have to see how this all pans out. But it's gonna. Look. We don't know how it's gonna go. It could be managed to a degree that it's all settled. There's deals done, plea deals, and everything. But I seem to think that. I have a feeling that in order for him to get as light a sentence as possible, it's going to have to go to trial.
Yeah, I think so too. And hopefully it goes live on the Law and Crime thing. The YouTube channel.
Who is? Before we move on, I just need to ask a quick question because you might know better than me. Recaita Law. What is going on there?
He went off the deep end.
My God.
The Johnny Depp trial, he made his bones along with this Runkle of the Bailey guy, this guy out of West Coast Canada, like sort of like Alberta somewhere. This what do you call it? Solicitor out in Alberta, white-haired guy, looks like Johnny Winter. And they all made money off of the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial, and then huge constantly. It was like the OJ trial basically.
Yeah.
And they were hoping for the Alec Baldwin trial to be similar, and it would have been if not for whatever happened, the poor prosecution. But I think he went off the rails. He had substance abuse issues, and his wife divorced him, I think, or his girlfriend. I don't know. So there's something creepy going on with that guy, and there's some videos we've seen him very impaired doing live streaming.
Oh man, because I remember him from watching the Amber Heard trial, and then I saw him about 3 or 4 months ago, and he'd lost weight. He looked like he was close to death.
Yes,
he had to go to rehab. I think
it was straight booze, just boozing constantly. And I mean, that might have been as the cause of the pandemic and it carried over. But by the time of the Amber Heard thing, he looked more or less fine. But his color had drained in the years since.
He looked like he aged 10 years.
Yeah. Awful stuff. Wow. Yeah. And I haven't looked far enough into it, but what I saw was it was awful. It was like Lindsay Lohan bad. Yeah.
And then he explained it. And I'm like, look, I wish I was more like that David guy. He has this layer of sleaze on him that is you can't penetrate it. That's it. He's always going to be happy and everyone else will be wrong. And that's it,
Howard in Jersey, you're on the wrap-up show.
Hey, good morning, guys. How are you?
I love this caller. I think he's a financial guy in Jersey, and he always calls in and has something great to say.
Couple things. First of all, Artie, you were commenting on Joey's son, how good the kid is. So I guess that proves that the apple does fall far from the asshole tree.
Well, I don't know. Again, he seems all right to me. I don't know him. I just met him once.
I'm just saying. So that, and also, I mean, Gary, you deal with this David creepy motherfucker often enough. Don't you feel that you, I guess, need to take a shower every time? Because he came across as a total slime bucket. Like you said, even commenting on the show that he's doing it for free.
You know what? I deal with a lot of David creeps of the world. You know what I mean? And I deal with a lot of nice people too. But we deal with a lot of guys. David is on the far end of the spectrum.
But I never get angry at these guys.
Yeah, I don't get angry at David.
They're not the guys that are causing this.
And the other thing is,
well, they are in a way. They're not. No. I agree. I'd put more of a blame on Joey. But hey, look, this stuff happens with a group of people involved, and he's one of the people,
And the thing with David is I've known him for so long, probably been dealing with it for 10 or 15 years. Like, at least I know what I'm dealing with David. When I deal with David, I know exactly what his expectation from us is, and I know exactly what I think I can get from him. When you start to deal with new people, then it just gets into a whole
By the way, why do we have them on the air if we have such a moral problem with this whole issue?
That's a great question.
But hold on a second.
I mean, we are part of the...
Okay, now, hold on. That's Will nailing the fucking coffin shut on the Stern show.
Yeah.
And I'm glad he said that, because I don't think anybody else would have had the balls to say it. Maybe Jason.
Such a moral problem with this whole issue.
That's a great question.
But hold on a second.
I mean, we are part of the media that a lot of people probably hate.
Today I can answer that one. We had no idea any of this was going on. All we wanted to know was, Joey, are you dating Amy Fisher? We wanted to know.
We knew that there was something going on.
Right, but we didn't know it was a potential fucking pay-per-view with walking around.
Well, why was he going to be on the phone? David Creef then. I mean, he's a producer.
But I don't know what deals he cut. I don't know what's going on.
Fuck off, Gary. You're playing dumb, and we know what the score is. Even if you didn't know, you knew the fix was in, essentially.
It's amazing how programmed this fucking monkey is, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, the way he's just, it just falls out of him, this defensive.
Yep. His default is
position.
defense. He's a center back for life.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Look, again, it's a huge story. I understand Will's point. I do, but it's a huge story. It's a huge New York story. Howard's been a part of this with Dominic and Joey calling in that day. I remember when Joey called in that day. That was a big deal. And so Howard and the Stern Show is very, very much a part of this whole story.
And I didn't want David on the phone. I wanted Joey. Yeah, David's the one who insisted on being on the phone.
It's hard to ignore, but if...
Okay, but then why don't you say no? We just want Joey.
Well, exactly, yeah. And look, the thing with this is why Gary is there, Fillmore. We've said this before. This is why he's there. He's not there because of his producing skills. He's there because he's a loyal soldier. He can manage the cognitive dissonance required to justify and defend Howard unconditionally. Yeah.
Yeah. So now, guys, maybe the moment some of you have been waiting for. We're going to take the bit of the Amy Fisher tape, the sex tape that was released, being of her, like them goofing on her. And there were a couple segments, but the first one is always going to be the best, and this is their first pass at it. So, Jimmy, just give me 1 sec.
Amy be on video.
Amy Fisher's body isn't so bad. But when she talks dirty, I think I have some clips.
Oh, dear.
When she talks dirty, it's really disturbing. She's like, I want you to come on my tits. But, like, it doesn't sound real sincere. And her husband's very disturbing looking, like not a porno guy, and is Joey Buttafuoco-ish, but... he's got his conch and he's coming on her tits.
Well, that is the normal trajectory of a porn, Howard.
Yeah. That's the first thing Howard mentions.
Yeah. Her body looks okay, but I'm surprised he had mentioned the Lou's cock before Amy's anything. Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't want to see. And she's got like kind of a big asshole and spreading and
right. You see all of it.
Could he hate the female form any less?
Yeah, he's disgusted by it.
I saw it back in the day. I looked on, I don't know what it would have been, Pornhub or something like that. And her body was smoking. There's no, she looked great. I have to say, the fake tits. I'm not a fan of them. I never have been. But you can't. I really can't fault her for any of that. And I just, you just got to try to focus on. There's no Lou in the picture, and the voice. They're not lying when they say how awful
This
it is.
guy Lou Bellera
is
he's got to be he's got to be close to 60.
Yeah,
here. It's got to be. But the real funny thing about him is, if anyone wants to type his name in, it's Bellera. I think.
It's just
this guy's whole
ER,
fashion sense. Yeah, he was in his mid to late 50s.
Yeah.
And his whole fashion sense is that whole kind of, I don't know what you call it, but kind of Sons of Anarchy chic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's this whole kind of boot cut, distressed jeans and
silver fox, going all white,
Yeah.
Like that episode of Star Trek when they all got aging because of this virus, whatever. He's So he's clearly older than her by quite a bit, and there's no daddy issues here involved, but this is more like grandfather issues.
Well, I think I would describe him as being like Double A's disappointed father. That's probably.
I expected more from you, son.
Little prick.
She says to him, big ass.
So now I got to get double A drops. Damn you. I got more homework.
Do you like looking at my pussy? And he goes, yeah, it's beautiful. And she goes, rub my pussy. And like her husband's, he's got a big belly. And
Well, yeah, he's out of shape. But,
it's just vile. I don't know.
Who's doing the camera work? Are angles changing?
Yeah.
What's going on there?
That's the... Yeah, there's camera angles.
So they had a cameraman.
Yeah. There's something There's something going on.
Was it more disturbing than the Tanya Harding thing? That porno was very disturbing.
Yeah, I think the guy has a lot of influence because it's like...
Did you ever see the Tanya Harding sex tape?
No.
I mean, skaters are very fit. They're like ballerinas and stuff, but she was a vile-looking creature. And I remember someone sent me the link, and I go, you know what? I'd rather save a wank for something else. Like, this was during the heyday of celebrity stuff. There was this chick from early Survivor, that her honeymoon video was released, and then it was determined that she released it and they were making money off it. The Pamela Anderson tapes were big with her and Bret Michaels, and then with Tommy Lee, which was a big piece of shit. And I remember just like that was so fashionable for a while instead of actual porn. Porn kind of took a backseat to who can we get that has released something. And this Amy Fisher one was just like later in the game, but clearly if they got 6 figures for this porn tape, 6 figures.
I think it's worth. But I think it's worth making the distinction with Pam that, and I believe her. Though she didn't want that out there. That was stolen. That tape.
Both of them were. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And
so whereas here, this is a very different situation where they're actively trying to promote it,
shopping this around. Fuck.
I realize now maybe the guy is important to the porno because you cannot watch this guy's cock and like it's just gross.
It's all over the place, huh?
It's gross.
And Buttafuoco is not involved with it at all, right? It's
No. This was when they were still together before the Joey thing happened.
No, Buttafuoco isn't even in it.
No, because I thought that at one point they were trying to play it like they all 3 of them were going to do something, But
come here. Where are you running out? You run in and then you run out, and then Artie's talking. I got to interrupt him.
Then you moved on. That's it.
Well, just give me a second, because once you come in, you're committed to saying something.
Okay, sorry.
Because then I interrupt Artie.
I didn't want to bother. I'm sorry.
But why would you walk in only to walk out, and then I'm like,
No, because you moved on. You were talking about who is shooting, but you guys
who is shooting?
It's the husband. And
See, I would still want to know that.
Okay, all right. I'm sorry.
What's the matter with you?
Sorry. I'll just stand here.
I couldn't even hear what Artie was saying. What were you saying, Artie?
No, it is weird because then I feel like I have to speed up what I'm saying.
I know. The whole thing's crazy. I got to get out of this.
Just wait your turn.
No, I was saying that I thought that at one point when they were all going on that little press tour, they tried to allude to the fact that all 3 of them might be in a porno together. But no, that's not this situation.
No.
I don't remember that specifically. I do remember thinking when I heard the initial Joey Buttafuoco call that we just covered, that the angle was going to be not just reality show, but then later on, she's she's going to do something porn related. Maybe not Joey, but something definitely with her. That's what it seemed like he was angling towards.
Well, yeah, and it certainly felt like that wouldn't have been off the table if there wasn't that chance to make any money or get any attention from it. Yeah,
big time. Yeah,
it's just weird. Like she's got a nice body. I'll give her that, Amy Fisher. But she's got this weird belly tattoo. Like, what is that, JD? It's over her belly
I think it's like a bunch of leaves, like a 4-leaf clover or something. It looked weird, like a bunch of just leaves.
Mrs. Lucky.
Yeah, and the face is a little busted, but the body looks good. And for a woman who's that kid.
Forgot about that. Oh god.
She looks pretty good.
Yeah.
She's got the big fake tits.
Yeah, you can see scars under her breasts.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
I didn't see that part.
Boy,
Thank
JD,
God.
you really.
He was concentrating on Lou. How many things about Lou did he talk about his cock and how it was disgusting and all this thing? Like, why are you focusing? I don't know. When I was younger, when I'm middle aged now, and whenever I've seen porn, the guy's incidental. Like he's, I don't fucking get that devotion he has to the male anatomy.
No, he always has to comment.
Yeah, without question.
Pour it over
I had
this.
to go through the whole thing.
This video.
This kid can watch porno. Did you find any part of it sexy?
No, not really.
Right? What was wrong with it? It's just like she's not so.
It's forced. It's like
listen to fucking Peter Bogdanovich giving his directorial breakdown. The lighting was awful, Howard. The cinematography was bad shit. Yeah,
they're not relatable.
You can tell they're making it to make a porn tape. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing sexual. There's nothing loving or anything about it.
Yeah, it's weird too because
whatever.
I know what you mean. It's kind of like it's just gross. And then when she gets in the bathtub, she's gonna like soap up like for us. And there's like not even enough soap. So she's like rubbing her asshole with like a little bit of soap.
So low production value.
It's almost like she's really trying to get clean.
Yeah, there's no assistant there to, put the bubbles in the tub.
No. But she doesn't look horrible, but the husband's pretty vile.
Well, I love how they have now faked that she's upset about it being released.
There's nobody upset. Oh, here, I guess we got it because we have to plug it. To order the Amy Fisher porn, go to clubredlight.com. Club Red Light.
So they paid for a plug, and you must play this. And I forgot that there was a plug in the middle of this. I thought they were getting this in to goof on for legit reasons. No, they're making money off this. That's brutal. Wow, that's brutal. That's a layer of sleaze on this that I forgot. I didn't even remember. I swear to God.
Well, look, these are the guys who took money off Ashley Madison.
Yes.
One of the most deplorable companies ever.
Now I really got to visit Steven Singer when I get to New York. See what his store looks like.
Yeah.
Can you buy like Chinese food in the same place? Come on.
.com or AmyFisher.com. Evidently, it's two places you can get it.
Yeah, she's real upset. Go to AmyFisher.com and get one. See why she's upset.
Right. Yeah, AmyFisher.com is selling it. How upset could you be with it?
She's also selling it in her garage.
Yeah, it's on a table in the garage.
She's upset that it got there, but
it's a beautiful display.
How long is it?
I only saw highlights, and I said to JD, once the husband was getting his blowjob. Oh no! Once he started eating her out, I said to JD, I'm gonna vomit. I'm gonna throw up. I'm out.
So. Look, guys, I don't know. There's people out there still thinking, it's all, he just loves gay stuff for the air. Dude, he's disgusted by him eating her out. Why?
I know. It's bizarre.
Yeah.
Why does it matter? Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's also like, why is he like, he's not doing a good job of selling it here, even though he's taking the money.
They took the plug. The plug was important.
Took the plug. Yeah.
Was it under the condition that, look, we're going to give it a review as well? We can't just take this plug.
Yeah.
Or do you think they cared? Do you think it was just like, fuck it, I don't care. Let's mock the shit out of it. We took the money and they'll get the plug no matter what.
I seem to recall seeing an interview with Mr. Bellera after this, where he claimed that he didn't make much money out of the porn.
Yeah.
He goes, I didn't make much money out of it. He also actually ended up doing this is how desperate and, just awful these people are. He ended up doing one of those fights with Joey Buttafuoco. You know those celebrity boxing matches?
Like Danny Bonaducci, Bob Levy.
Exactly. And they had a fake beef, a fake tussle during the weigh-in.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's just awful stuff. Like, I remember when Bonaducci fought Bob Levy.
Yeah.
After that, Bob Levy came into the studio, or he was interviewed straight after, and he goes, this was great, made a lot of money, and we're going to do another one planned with High Pitch, and, I mean, look, it's just the bottom, again, Howard Stern show is just associated with just the bottom rung of entertainment.
I think Bob Levy said he was going to fight Todd Bridges next or something. And Howard goes, could you find someone who maybe hasn't had a fight with a crack dealer? And he said, I'll never forget. He goes, look, Bob's better. He's at the point in his life where he's better off having a cigarette. He goes, he looks like I would look if I had 15 more years on the road and the money issues he had. So yeah,
not kidding. Yeah,
prophetic.
And poor Bob, but look what Bob is doing now as well.
Yeah.
Times haven't changed.
No, they haven't.
I'm thinking about it and I'm going to throw up. He's like, yeah, you've got a pretty pussy. Where's that clip?
JD1.
Let's hear the love
They're in
talk.
yellow. I think there's one. The second one is where he talked about like how much he loves her pussy and stuff.
Second one?
Second one, yeah.
All right. Loves Amy's little girl pussy. Yeah, and it's hardly. It's
It's a
pretty,
little girl pussy?
It's a pretty big gaping hole.
You can tell there's like a big daddy, fantasy they play.
Thank you, Truffaut.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's definitely into the older looking guy thing. Which is fine. Just keep it at home.
Yeah, nobody needs to see that.
I'm not sure I can handle it. Although we're probably selling a bunch of tapes from right now.
Listen,
Yeah, there's
and
some
again,
sick people out there.
if you're gonna do something sickening and offensive, go all the way. Like I want to hear her going, like in the midst of sex, like, do you want me to shoot your wife?
Really be Amy Fisher.
So you should have written the script.
Oh yeah, shoot my wife.
I want to kill your wife. I love you so much. Whoa, easy.
You got a pretty pussy, and I want you to.
Already on that same wrap-up show we played later on, he goes, listen, I don't want to get too moral. I mean, back in the day, I was making jokes like the next person. He said, what's Mary Jo Buttafuoco's making money giving blowjobs on the side? So, guys, we can see the lighter side of things, but my God.
Shoot my wife.
Honey, please, shoot my wife. I want to spend eternity with you.
Shoot my wife, please.
I love you, pussy. Love that clit. Come on. Oh, yeah, let me see that beautiful wet clit. That little girl's clit.
It was like a guy imitating. It was like a guy and a girl imitating what they see in porn.
Right.
Yeah. Like, but not even doing it. Like they were doing bad
It's
porn
almost
acting.
like he's reading it.
Yeah.
That is disgusting.
Yeah. The video.
Just spread it with your fingers. That's it.
Lou with all the emotional baggage of a young Orson Welles. Oh fuck! God's sake.
Let me see it. Open it up for me.
Oh,
yeah.
Keep it closed.
Yeah, let me see those beautiful nipples that I love. Like those nipples. That's it.
Oh, fuck me with your hands. Good.
Mom of two.
Fuck me. Yeah, you like fucking me?
So pink. So tight.
Oh my God.
You know
this
what?
Could be.
Go ahead.
This could be like it's not far off. He sounds like a kind of a corrupt gynecologist.
Yeah.
Or it sounds very perfunctory, and he's going through the motions. Yeah.
Get up on those stirrups.
Yeah.
Well, like real, like there's there's like, you know, what they're going to talk about, like, it is true. Like when you get porn done by this, funny, there's a website, I can't remember the name. It advertises porn directed by women for women versus what you get like the normal sites for men, and it is different, 100% different, and clearly like there's different like avenues of fetish for everybody out there.
Yes.
But when you do this sort of home like this. It's not a honeymoon tape, which was the big thing back then. Like the Pamela Anderson stuff was just stolen video. This is, if they're trying to make it look like that's what it was, it sounds like shit, and it really was shit. But if it was meant to be a porn, then you're supposed to hire real people to do this stuff for you and then teach you how to do it. There is an art to it, unfortunately.
There is, and I think we often see in life times where people underestimate how hard it is to do something.
Yeah.
You know, and they just think, you know, and like, you know, when something is done well, it looks easy. And unfortunately, when Lou and when they tried this out, they really underestimated their own abilities, I think.
Yeah.
Hi. What's so nice? First, I want to examine this pussy. Yeah.
Where are we?
Oh, yeah.
Long Island, it sounds.
We're in America.
Hospital, we want to examine.
I clipped that for you. You were dying. Did your brother ever hear this one?
No, I must send it.
Oh, please
I must
do.
send this one over. This is crazy.
God.
I'm going to examine your pussy.
And her accent, though, is like, oh.
Yeah. It's not sexy.
Unsexy.
There's the first clip. You got her talking dirty.
Let me just. This one's too priceless. I got 2 seconds left.
2 seconds left. Well, how does he end?
Oh, I like it. He likes it.
See, there was much. Once you get to examine the pussy, it's not much.
Well, first I'm going to give you a pap smear.
What the fuck is going on?
Clean bill of health. No cysts, nothing. No human papillomavirus.
Now let me see if I can palpate the ovary.
Yeah, baby. Wow. You are so hot. Unbelievable. Oh, that's when she's taking a bath.
Yeah, is she taking a dump? What?
No, she's taking a bath. She is standing up in the bathtub, rubbing her titties and her belly.
This is at the Port Authority bathroom.
What a line.
Fuck's gonna die.
And he's telling her how hot she is.
I should have come fuck me.
I'm gonna fuck you in a little while.
I thought you had come over my tits.
Jack, come all over my tits.
All over my tits.
Hey.
It's like you're fucking nice.
Hey, get your hot cum here.
Fuck my tits. Oh.
See, I missed this so much. The show used to do this so fucking brilliantly. Remember that one? There was one. I was early, Artie. It was on terrestrial when they were fucking on one of Springsteen's stage raps, like a bit before the river.
Yes.
And Artie they were just doing it, like we're just riffing, and it was clean, but I mean, obviously it was you know edgy, but and I just loved it because it was of its time. You'll never get this now. You just never.
No. Well, look, we're this would never be played anymore. This would never, you know. Yeah, look, we just have to thank. We just have to be grateful that we have recordings.
Yeah.
At this point.
Oh yeah.
Female dice. Then she's in the wrong profession.
You like my pretty pussy? Oh. That's my pretty fucking pussy.
I'm getting so excited. I feel a big cock in my pussy. Come give it to me, baby.
Oh, it's so gross.
God, I love touching your cock. Look at this.
What's that?
Yeah, she's always like, she's like a
porn.
snake.
Well, in porn they do that.
But they don't do it every other word.
Yeah, like he's standing up, like with his leg up on something, and he's all shaved.
Oh dear.
He's got gray hair, and she's jerking him off. You know, he's all shaved down for the movie.
He's got a very intense look on his face too.
Yeah, oh yeah, the look on this guy.
Serious love look.
Oh,
it's not even It's not even
looking at her.
He's not even looking at her. He's focused on anything else besides her.
Oh,
like he's like not even looking at her.
I live to suck this cock. This is my little bit of heaven. It tastes so good.
Well, shut up, already.
Come over my breasts. Come on my tits.
Yeah, I'm gonna come on the tits. You want to get closer?
Go ahead. Come on.
On your face. Come on.
No, come on my tits. Oh, come on over my tits. I'm gonna...
It's like they're recording it in a lead pipe.
Is it just me, or did I hear a toilet flush at the start? Was there a toilet flush?
It sounded, like the cistern filling up.
Yeah. Just give it 5 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Let me drop this Cleveland steamer report.
Rubbing in my nipples. Oh, yeah, baby. Come on my tits. Oh. Oh, I love tasting my daddy's cum.
What'd she say? I love
taste my daddy's cum.
Yeah.
Who wrote the script? David Cree?
Really?
He's the cameraman.
She calls him daddy through the whole thing.
You're so hot. Oh, this is hot.
And he talks to her as my little girl.
Want some more?
Ugh,
Here's
I'm going to throw up just from listening to it.
This time, Amy Fisher loves alone time with daddy.
Nice.
Love sucking this cock. No idea. I dream of it every single night. I know you're gonna come to bed and fuck my little pussy. You get a long time with my daddy. He's gonna let me suck this big cock.
Oh, they are sick.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they do. They have children. You think about that.
There's one part where he's filming her walking around the pool, and you see the Child's Playset like right in the background.
Oh, that's a new touch.
I got 2 more clips here.
Suck me on the hobby horse.
Yes.
Oh, good.
Which one is this? Amy has somewhere to go, but they have to have sex
It's
first.
like, a situation that they sort of put themselves in where she's got to go somewhere, but the husband wants
He wants a
her
quickie.
too much.
Yeah, so she has to give in to him?
Yes, she gives into his.
Is it almost like rape? But
No, it's more like.
She needs it too.
Yeah.
All right. They need each other. Great.
Hi.
Hey, baby, what are you doing?
Oh, you were gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful.
Oh, I love when you rub my ass.
Oh, I love you, baby. You are so hot.
You gonna let me put on my makeup?
I don't think so. I think I want to just look at you and touch you.
Oh, you distracted me. What am I gonna do with you? Huh?
What would you like to do with me?
Oh, I gotta go. I have like a million things to do.
She's got to go to court, probably.
I gotta go.
Where's
Christ.
She
I gotta see my probation
I
officer.
gotta go. Hickory dickory dock. I'll shoot your wife with a Glock. Oh,
I got to go shoot your wife with a Glock.
a Glock. Oh,
He sort of sounds like Red from.
Ronnie.
Fuck you and rip up in your belly.
I'll show you all the black stuff in your belly.
Have a little time with me. Come on, baby. You're so
How
gorgeous.
much time?
I looked at you at that pool when I was like dropping on you. It was so cool. Yeah, you look great. Gorgeous. Oh, that feels so good.
Oh, you're gonna make me late.
Nah, don't worry about it. Like, where you going? Not that important.
You have to do something else gross?
This is why you pay a comedian to sit in, guys.
I know, exactly.
There's some of the O&A stuff that's like that when they have certain guys dissecting it, like that Joe Piscopo doing the comedy special and Florentine's in on O&A. That really was one to go through. And I mean, it's better off just listen to it. You don't need to hear us go through it. But when they do things like that, it's worth it. And occasionally, as opposed to what you got now. Like what's Wilding going to do in this situation? Do an Amy Fisher impression for 30 minutes on the show?
And also, I mean, Jim and Sam, what did it like? from what I gather, all they do is have like porno chicks and wrestlers in.
I think so.
I don't know.
No.
You gotta take care of me, baby.
Yeah.
See those gorgeous tits.
Oh, man, you're gonna make me so late.
Kids, man, you're so gorgeous. I love you.
He loves her, I'll tell you,
You
that.
know what? This is really funny because she's such a bad ad libber. She can't remember where she's to pretend to be. She should be pretending to go.
Yeah, she's not even doing it.
Where's your appointment? I don't know.
Cut, Amy, you had a hair appointment. Cut.
But I gotta go. Come on, I gotta.
I think you can wait a little while.
Yeah, you think so?
Especially when I have a special surprise for you.
Where's
Okay?
what's
Oh, boy.
Take a look at that.
Oh,
my
no.
surprise?
Sure, look.
Yeah, my cock is your surprise.
Sure.
Sure.
Sure. You got my surprise? Sure.
Someone said the same thing about the German accent when German girls speak in English. I love it, actually. I have no problem with it, but I understand when they say it's unsexy when the guys speak it in English. And I'm like, yeah, I can see that. But for the women, I don't care. I don't really give a fuck.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. I mean, but yeah, it's definitely, it's a harsh language, you know. It's,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Told you it's a special surprise.
Oh, they're two of the most vile
all
human
I know
beings of all time.
is you think that you're just listening to it.
Yeah,
you
seeing
guys,
in a whole other realm.
JD should take you back during a commercial, let you watch a little of it.
Maybe you shouldn't.
Wow, it's too much.
Something
What's
else.
this last one? Amy and hubby having sex? Is
It's
it?
just they're just having sex.
All
If
right.
you want to hear them in.
Oh,
It's vile.
oh, baby. Oh, man, that cock is big.
Sounds like her water broke. Oh, man.
Oh, fuck my little pussy. Oh, fucking good.
Well, her little pussy ain't so little.
I mean, really, it makes you not want to have sex.
Yeah. Oh, wait, go watch it. I'd rather go see that disturbing Body Works exhibit where they show you dead people.
It's like, I don't want to do what these two are doing or trying to do.
Yeah, it's
Right. Is this what it's like? I don't want to do it.
yeah. I want to be celibate.
Yeah, abstinence through the Amy Fisher video.
Exactly, yeah. Can you imagine?
Oh, yeah.
That's it, come on, that's it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Fuck my little cunt. Fuck it. Oh.
It does seem like they went to the Andrew Dice Clay Dialogue School of Acting.
I think they did. They also didn't invest in decent microphones.
No, well, yeah, like the thing is, yeah, you got to be, God, there's got to be some looping going in there, some post-production work.
You got to get a boom mic in there.
Yeah, something, yeah.
Anyway, you can go to amyfisher.com. I guess you gotta be curious.
They got that domain name. I guess the theme of it is her cunt is little and his cock is big.
Right.
That's it. Little cunt, big cock. That's
And
what they
he's-
should call
Actually,
it.
does he have a big cock?
Does he have a big cock?
Average, I guess.
Yeah, it's not. It's
That would have pissed me off.
Compared to me, I mean, you know.
it's not. It's suitable
I mean,
for
yeah,
a porno.
if he was back in 10 inches, that would aggravate the shit
No,
out of me.
but he's got a cock. He's got nothing to be ashamed of that way.
He's got everything else to be ashamed.
I was just thinking, like,
Yeah.
what
Go
kind of cop do you think Lou Bellera would have been? Makes
Bad
you
cop.
think. Oh,
Like, clearly, like, on the take, that kind of shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Guys, we're going to end off on this one because we thought if you're going to play porn and get a laugh out of it, too, you may as well throw a little Artie going in on the Kathy Jones clip.
Yeah, that feels good.
What is that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Ancient granny porn women. Oh, yeah. Who is that? That's my favorite.
Come on, honey, put on. Yeah.
Oh,
You put that on a CD. I want that on a CD. I'm taking it.
That's Fran Drescher in 10 years.
See, she's got that gel in place and she's having a good time.
No, Fran has that voice, similar
Imagine
voice, right?
fucking a chicken, she's making that noise.
Actually, that's a girl named Kathy Jones.
Really?
Yep.
Really?
She's one of the old porn stars that we
I was
had
going
in
to
here.
say, you got to be more than a girl.
Hey guys, do you have any Kathy Jones videos?
Got to see
Was
her
she
in
one of the
action.
ones who was here for the family?
Yeah.
Oh,
Kathy Jones.
those girls were great. So.
This is now a party.
Maybe we have a clip of her work. I don't know.
There's something kind.
What?
2 seconds.
All right, thank you.
I don't think I could see the visual to that because I might have a fucking heart attack.
I'm not a visual, but I'll have some tape of her, you know.
GP1 and white.
Thank you. All right, here we go. This is Kathy Jones, a little bit of an extended scene.
Take it, you old fucking head.
Oh, yeah. Fuck you, little bitch. Oh, I want it. I want you to fuck me. Oh, yeah.
Here I come. Here I come.
Oh, my God, there she is.
Suck every drop out.
Gary, why would you keep yelling at me during the clip?
Yeah, we're trying to listen.
All I hear is Artie. I didn't hear the clip.
What do you want, Gary?
We have a video if you want to see it.
All right.
With audio. Frank, put it to his board.
All right, play the video.
Oh, no.
Wait a minute, let me put on a truss.
Good for you.
This is as close as we've come to having Rip Taylor on the show.
That one never, ever never fails to make me laugh out hard. Gut laugh. Jesus. And
Clips
those
like that.
God.
That cures depression. You know what I mean? That kind of audio.
I think so. Well, they do say that if you laugh a certain amount per day, it actually does there's some, I don't know, some endorphins it releases, or it helps. I mean, it's de-stressing, obviously, but hysterical laughter, too much of it is definitely not healthy. You have to sometimes you have to cut it down. But when it gets like that, God, you don't, until the point where your ribs hurt, it's a whole other thing. Anyway, guys, we're going to continue with part 2, which will include Lou coming into the studio, but also Amy coming into the studio and getting booted out, and then the wrap-up show where Bowie decides to get big moral issues, whatever, after the fact that they've already fucking booked her in, and and then decide they'll triple down or quadruple down and have Lou in as a judge on an evaluation thing.
Yes.
Which
Yes,
I
that's
thought
what
was
I remember.
I was absolutely disgusted when they said, well, they'd have him back. I don't remember this being a plug, this porno tape when they listened to it, but clearly they would have taken money from they would have taken Nazi gold and told you it was from Steven Singer.
Yes. Yeah.
But
thankfully Artie was there to turn it into a memorable segment.
Yeah, absolutely. So, guys, thank you so much for listening to this one. We hope you enjoyed it. We hope you didn't lose any ribs, burst a rib, or hurt a muscle down there from the laughing. And we hope we didn't overlaugh. So we'll take care, and we'll see you on the next one.
Thanks, folks.
Well, it sounds fascinating.
Hey, Howard, this makes sense. I just read in page 6, Diana DeGarmo is writing a book. It's called Go Away, Little Monster.
Well, Eric, I wish you luck with this book. I do.
And take your little dog with you.
And I'm very excited to have a reading and hear what you have to say, okay?
Yeah, I can't wait.
Oh, man.
All right.
Thank you.
Hey, Artie, how many brain cells have you actually killed with coke and heroin?